Hi guys, it's Elena, and I'm enchanted to have you be here on my channel. Hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you're new, consider liking, subscribing, becoming part of my little YouTube family, and if you've been here before, hello and welcome back. On today's video, I know it's a couple days already into December, but I've been a little bit behind and slightly under the weather lately, so here is my December plan with me. I'm actually pretty excited. It is the last month for this bullet journal, and I'm going to start setting up my bullet journal for next year, and I am, oh my gosh, so excited. There's just something so wonderful about starting a new journal that I am completely looking forward to. So hang tight and watch for my witchy New Year planning videos that are going to be upcoming in the next few weeks. So here is that. This is the December plan with me, and as usual, I started off with a picture that reminded me of the month before. So that was me and my husband, and we were out to lunch for my stepdad's birthday. We took him to hibachi for the first time, and well, it seemed to be like a good day. So here it is. Now, I've been packing up a few of my Etsy orders, and I use this brown packing paper or brown wrapping paper or brown parchment paper. I don't even know what it's called. This brown paper for all of my orders, which means I have quite a few scraps of it. And if you've heard my other videos, if you've seen a couple of my other videos, I don't like to waste things, so I end up storing all of these scrap papers, scrap pieces of the parchment paper, whatever the case may be, to use for later projects. And I guess it's now going to be a prominent thing throughout my bullet journals because I feel like it's such a cute and aesthetic way to reuse it, and it adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of definition to items. So I think all throughout next year you guys are going to be seeing a ton of brown paper thingies used throughout my bullet journals and throughout other crafts because I don't like to throw things out and waste things. So why not just repurpose them and create some art? At least that's my mindset. So for December, instead of going with the traditional round wreath, I decided to do a hexagon. And I think hexagons have also become quite a consistent feature throughout my channel and throughout my brands and things like that, which I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but I don't mind it at all. So this month gets a hexagon kind of wreath, I guess. This month will also be fairly minimalistic because I don't really have much time for painting and things like that. I've been in a little bit of a disarray. I have finals. I have a final today. This video is going to be coming up on this day, and I have a final today, and I'm doing a voiceover instead of studying because I am procrastinating. Anyway, so that's a little bit about my life. Let's just focus more on some artsy things and bullet journal things. Yeah. I did a little backdrop decoration of the candlelight and some cedar leaves, branches, those type of things, and I figured it would be a really cute addition to add into my bullet journal. I have pressed a few leaves of them flat. They're nice and dry, so they won't either leak or destroy the pages in my journal, and I feel like it's adding in that extra rustic texture or addition to it. So that pages was for the monthly, and this one here is going to be my habits. Now, if you've seen my previous month's habit tracker, you notice that I'm retracking the same exact 4 habits because I did not do that great of a job of sticking to them, so I can't really add to them. But yeah, a little bit of healthy habits segments should be coming in later about other habits that I've been working on, but for this month I'll be focusing on the same 4 habits just to make sure that they're fully ingrained into my routines. Adding in some stickers to make things look wintry and wonderful. And on the other side of the page is going to be my gratitude page, where every month I write down something for each day that I'm grateful for, and I feel like it's a wonderful practice, a wonderful habit to have, because there's always something in the day that you can be thankful for or grateful for, and it's a great way to ground yourself, a great way to realize that you have more than you think. Adding in another one of those cedar branches, doing an awful freehand of grateful on the page. And this time around, I didn't map out each specific days. I just kind of left it blank, and I'll be writing in the days as I go through it. Here's the candle that I chose for this month. I used the same one last month, I believe. It's almost done, and it smells very light and lovely, so I don't mind it being so close to me. A couple candles have a very intense smell, so I can't really have them be, on my desk right next to me. It's a little bit overpowering. What is your favorite candle smell if you have one? I love things that are warm or fruity or something of like baked goods. Anything vanilla or like coffee, I think those are great smells. Finishing up the habit trackers, writing in all the dates. Alright, on to the first week of the month. So again, I'm doing this month's bullet journal a little bit minimalist and smaller. I'm keeping part of my to-do list, task list in the journal, the most important ones that need to be achieved for the week. If you see my previous spreads, I've done like monthly task list or monthly running task list. This one's going to be a weekly task list. And I'm using another notebook to do the monthly task list because my tasks have been ever growing and I've been running out of pages in my bullet journal. Using some goldenish, brownish stickers, and those sticker sheets are in my Etsy shop. If you want to check it out, link is going to be in the description and down below. Adding in some golden stars for more detail, more texture. I love those markers. First of all, they stink really bad. They have an awful smell to them. They smell exactly like, acetone-based nail polish, but the shimmer of them, it's like you're writing with liquid gold. It's wonderful. Here's that nice and simple spread. And then adding in a couple more stickers just to add a little bit more details. Voila! Look at the shimmer of those markers. Ooh, so pretty. So definitely warm tones, earthy tones, and golds all throughout this month's theme. On to the next week. On this spread, I'm using a gradient pattern of my hexagon sticker sheets and kind of spreading things around and looking at like those greens and maroons kind of blend together, or neutrals kind of blend together. And I feel like it came out kind of cool, kind of simple. Something quick and easy and fairly pretty put together. That way I didn't have to spend too much time on this spread. Do you guys set up bullet journals that are super creative and crafty? I have a couple months where I've done a ton of watercolor paintings in my journal. Or are your bullet journals more simplistic or minimalistic, kind of like this month is for me? I do a little bit of both. It depends on how much time I can allocate to decorate my journal for the month, I suppose. And if there's a little bit more time, I like to go all out with watercolors and paintings and sketches and things like that. and if I'm a little bit pressed for time, just do something a little bit more minimalistic. And that's what I love, absolutely love about bullet journals, is that it varies. It can vary alongside with you. You can add to it whatever you need. You can change things around, whatever you need to do. For instance, my weekly days used to be Monday through Sunday, and I would have that extra space for notes, but now I do Monday through Sunday, and I have an extra space for tarot readings. So that's a little bit of an addition. Adding in a little bit more bird stickers just to kind of tie in some winteriness to the abstractness of the hexagons. Here is that. The bird stickers have a little bit of the shimmer, and so do the gold little hexagons, but I like the way the spread came out. Fairly simple, but it looks detailed. So here is that. Alright, on to the next one. Trying to count out the squares because I didn't have this one mapped out. And fairly similar layouts. I just have days of the week, tarot reading spread, and a to-do list task on the side. This weekly spread, I was inspired by my procrastination of replying to my pen pals, so hopefully this little visual help of letters and kind of like a pen pal themed week would help me remind and get back on track on replying to the letters. Oops, I blame schoolwork. I swear it's on schoolwork. I had exams and finals, and I'm finishing up my semester, and things should be a little bit easier next week. Sticky Club sent in those kind of stamp-like muted tone stickers, and I just love the colors of them. I love how the colors are so neutral and soft and almost pastel. I just thought it would be a great addition to the earthy tones of my monthly theme. Adding in some more stickers all throughout, just extra details. And of course, we have to have some sort of foliage in the picture. Adding in some pink colored snowflakes. I believe that's from one of last year's pack from Sticky Club. I used some and I'm using a little bit more this time. Again, I tend to hoard a lot of stationery items. Alright, on to week 4. The marker that I'm using is a Crayola Super Tips marker, I believe. I've had it for years, I think since like maybe middle school days, and it still hasn't dried out, which is pretty darn awesome if you ask me. Markers don't usually last that long, but the coolest thing is it has a smell, and it smells like berries, and that was just the coolest thing ever. So for this spread, I want to do something a little bit more Yule themed or woodsy, since Yule is on that day, that week. So I started off with trying to do an evergreen tree or a Christmas tree, and using that kind of paper to add some texture to the branches, the tree itself. I'm not entirely sure how to describe it. But as you will see, it did not turn out that great. It looked absolutely terrible. So I went with plan B and just used just used the papers as the edges to kind of give it some more leafy foliagey look, if that makes sense. If you hear noise in the background, it is my puppy begging for attention because she is all nappy and calm and fine, and the moment the camera turns on or the moment that I am doing a voiceover or anything that requires my attention to not be on her, she immediately asks for attention, and she's right here by my side whining and demanding cuddles. Right, you little brat? So I apologize for the noise in the background. Adding in some more of that gold washi tape. I just love the way it shimmers when the light hits it. It's not exactly like gold, but it's kind of golden color, but it's more like glitter. It's like a glitter washi tape, and thankfully it does not shed any glitters. Just adding in some days for the week. And this spread is now going to be all cozy winter themed, and we have some cozy sweaters and cozy kitties. I wish I had some like scrap of fluffy fabric or something like that. I looked through my scrap fabric stash and I didn't exactly have something that would remind me of a blanket, because I was totally going to add it into this weekly spread. I think that would be pretty darn cool. So I'm using scissors to cut out some of the printed stickers sort of things in the background of that sticker sheet because they were not cut out themselves. And like I've said before in my previous sticker reviewing things, nothing a pair of scissors can't fix. So here is that weekly spread in all of my phone light glory. Look at the way that washi tape shimmers. Oh, I just love the texture of it. So nice. On to the last week. Now, I liked the previous week so much using kind of that foliage paper, and I just love the way it gave off that texture without actually giving off a lot of texture. So I figured I'd carry that theme over onto this week as well. I used the other part of that now scrap paper and cut out some of that foliage and kind of gave it a border for the weekly spread. And I just love the way it looked. It kind of reminds me of like a foresty jungle a little bit. I outlined it with a pencil just so I can have an outline for where to put the tape, and voila! It was so quick and easy, and now half of the weekly spread is done and I don't have to do too much decorating. And that's what I mean by slightly minimalistic, is I didn't have to spend too much time on my bullet journal, but I think the results are okay. I don't know. What do you think? I'm using the scrap from that scrap paper to add into the other side of the journal. And this is what I mean by I recycle. I save way too many scrap papers. Like I have a whole bin. I think I have 2 bins now full of just pieces of scrap paper because I'm kind of weird. But I end up using it in my projects, so it's okay. Adding in the weekly days. Writing in that to-do list. And adding in some more of those shimmery gold washi tapes. I should have used more of that washi tape throughout my journal now that I think about it, because just like the sparkliness of it just makes me smile. Here's that, adding in a little bit more stickers to tie things in, and of course adding in more winter themed pine cones. What I did for this one is I took that same gold marker and kind of outlined the edges of it. I outlined a little bit on the paper itself and a little bit on the bullet journal, and then I did an outline on that side just to kind of tie things in together, and I feel like it came out pretty darn cool. So here is the last week. In all of its golden, shimmery, and green glory. And now here is an overview of all of the weeks. Let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!